Nezuko Kamado Mugen Train version by Good Smile Company. This photo frame effect, yeah, going for over here, like, seriously, this is way too messy looking to my liking. To me, this looks more like Nezuko being stuck inside the vagina of a tentacle monster and she is fighting her way out. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Steven right here with a coverage of the new anime scale figures that were being revealed or updated in a figure event this past weekend, which was Wonhobby Gallery Spring 2023. This was a fairly small event compared to the likes of even Megahobby Expo, not to mention Wonder Festival. Not too many scale figures, but nonetheless, let's go through every single one scale figures, and I will be making use of two different websites to do this. And then, as usual, we are going to focus on only the scale figures, including pop-up rates. I'm skipping past Nando's and Figmas because this channel, X Kurani Studio, is all about scale figures. Now let's jump into Wonhobby Gallery's own website itself. These are all of the products that were announced, but we will narrow things down to scale figures first for once, and there are about only 20 scale figures coming from Good Smile, not too many. The first one here, we have a scale figure of Hitori Goto from Bocchi the Rock. About damn time given how popular the series has been, but there is barely any activity from the side of figure brands when it comes to figures and other merchandisers. Finally, we are getting a scale figure, but I am hearing complaints from some of you guys that this is way too simple, way too boring. You were expecting something a bit more dynamic in terms of the pose. And I totally get your feelings over there. I think Good Smile could have done better. Maybe they are playing it safe, you know, because this is, in the end, just a seasonal anime and things might flop after release. We won't know. Seasonal anime figures, they have never done well in the figure market for a long time. So I can totally understand the sentiment, but at the same time, I believe Good Smile is trying to play safe over here by not making something way too high-end, only to watch it bargain bin after release. My personal guess with this figure of Goto over here, this is a minimum 1/7 scale, maybe even 1/6 scale. You know the quintessential quintuplet sisters? Yeah, those were 1/6 coming from Good Smile. So what do you think? This might be a 1/6 even, for all we know. And it is not just Goto, the other three characters over here, yeah, I don't really remember their names. They are also getting scale figures, every single one of them. Nijika Izuchi, and then Ryo Yamada, as well as Ikuyo Kita. Yeah, all three of them are getting scale figures. I'm not sure if they are following these three artworks over here. If it is, yeah, it would be exceedingly simple, too simple, which makes me believe they are all 1/6 scales. Always a good thing to have a larger figure, right? Bigger is better, or that is what she said. Back to this page, we have 4 new scale figures of Hatsune Miku. This is Hatsune Miku Symphony version 2022. I'm guessing 1/7 scale over here. Quite a unique version of Miku figure, but I do like the previous version a bit more, where she is sitting on this, what do you call that music player on top. I don't know what it is called. Yeah, I like that version a bit more compared to this one over here, but this is still a very nice figure of her to have. The next one over here, we have Hatsune Miku Happy 16th Birthday version. Alright, this is a really detailed figure of Hatsune Miku. Anyone care to guess the price of this one? 40,000 yen minimum? Yeah, I could totally see that happening. More pictures over here, which I have taken from other websites. This is a very detailed figure of Miku, and I would say a minimum of 1/7 scale as well. My prediction is 40,000 yen and above. Yeah, that is my prediction. I know that nobody likes an overly expensive figure, but I'm just being realistic with my predictions over here. Up next, we have a scale figure of Hatsune Miku Shimien Maifu version. Okay, let me enlarge the page a little bit. Okay, I can't really tell what the figure will look like. Oh, that is a traditional Chinese music instruments over there. Similar to what we see this character from FGO have. What was her name again? Yes, Yang Guifei. Yeah, looks like the same music instrument. So this is Chinese culture inspired version. Interesting. No prototype yet, as we can see over here, only the artwork. And up next, we have Hatsune Miku 2022 tropical version. Certainly looks very tropical indeed. Maybe include some pineapples just to make the figure look more tropical. You know, with food especially, whenever they mention the word tropical or Hawaiian, they include pineapples in there. This one is a bit too simple to my liking. So if I were buying a Miku figure, I would be skipping this one and going for those that are more sophisticated looking. Yeah, this one is way too simple to my liking. Back to this page. What else we have? Alright. These three Nikkei. We are finally getting some scale figures from Nikkei, you see? Okay. This is a scale figure of Guren from Goddess of Victory, Nikkei. Like, everyone were checking out their asses, their butts when this game launched. Like, all the characters in this game has very nice backsides, right? I'm excited for this figure, really. No prototypes yet, only an official artwork, and that is what I'm assuming the figure will be based on. Very detailed, and I am a big fan of high detail figures. So this one has my attention. I will be bookmarking it in myfigurecollection.net. And the next one over here, we have a scale figure of Modernia from Nikkei as well. She is more stacked at the right places, if you know what I mean. And initially, the figure looks a bit odd in terms of the pose, like it is not that normal based on this artwork. And then I noticed that she is not actually holding the rifle over there. So hopefully Good Smile will change things a bit in the actual figure and make her hold it. I think that would look a bit more natural. Is that rifle attached to that backpack she's having behind her? I'm not too sure, but I would prefer her to be holding the rifle. Up next, we have a scale figure of Aris Tendo made version from Blue Archive. This is by Good Smile Company. So this is just another made figure to me. Based on this artwork at least, I have a figure of Asuna by Max Factory on pre-order, and I'm thinking of picking up quite a few other characters from this franchise, Blue Archive. I mean, I really like the character design a lot. This one is a bit on the plain side of things, but for Blue Archive collectors, yeah, this would be a great addition to your collection. Now back to this page, what do we have? Oh yes, this one I'm very excited about. Let's just open every single one of them in a new tab and we will talk about them. Alright, this one from Tsukihime, we have a scale figure of Seal 7th Scripture, Third Cause of Death, Blood Loss Blade. Okay, so the first thing we all would be worried about is how huge the box of this figure is going to be because that will affect shipping greatly. And the second thing is that I'm trying to guess whether it is possible to split the blade into two different segments so that, you know, you can make the box smaller, like, you know, those seam lines, those lines along the blade. Yeah, those V-shaped lines, I think those were great places to split the blade into 3 or 2 separate parts so that the box won't be too huge. But knowing Good Smile, I don't really expect them to do that. So do expect this figure to cost a lot in terms of the shipping cost. But nonetheless, I am very excited for this figure. This is still a Type Moon character in a sense. It is not a Fate series, but she is from the Type Moon universe. I won't pre-order it, but you can expect me to purchase one after release, yeah. Up next, we have a scale figure of Koito Fukumaru Midnight Monster version from the Idolmaster Shiny Colors. From what I remember, this isn't by Good Smile Company. This figure is by Solar Rain, yeah. And Solar Rain, they have been getting my attention quite a bit lately. I think their figures look great, though I'm not interested in this figure of Idolmaster character over here. The next one, we have a scale figure of Nezuko Kamado Mugen Train version by Good Smile Company. This photo frame effect they are going for over here, like I'm not really feeling it. To me, it looks kind of messy, like Nezuko is lost within the frame. Whenever you frame an object or a photograph in a photo frame, you want the main subject, the main character, to be standing out compared to everything else in the frame. And I'm not feeling that in this figure over here. Seriously, this is way too messy looking to my liking. If I don't pay attention to that pair of bench over there below there, yeah, I wouldn't have realized that this is the interior of a train at all. To me, this looks more like Nezuko being stuck inside the vagina of a tentacle monster and she is fighting her way out. That is what it feels like to me, so no. If I want a figure of Nezuko, I don't think this would be it. Up next, we have a scale figure of Shoko Komi, summer clothes version from Miyuki. I'm not sure what pose they'll be going for. I doubt that this artwork over here is what they're going for, because if it is, this would be a very boring figure to look at. I think there was this figure of Shoko Komi. Was it by Wing Company? I can't remember. That is like the benchmark. That is the best figure of her out there, and it is really hard to beat that version. So it'll be interesting to see what Miyuki will do with this figure of her. Up next, we have a scale figure of Marin Kitagawa in her swimsuit. I'm guessing 1/7 or 1/6 scale even, because this is a plain bikini swimsuit figure. And once again, you pay attention to her bust, her boobs, it isn't that big, right? Just like what we saw with the freeing 1/4 scale bunny version of Marin Kitagawa. So when people told me that her bust got nerfed, so when some of you guys told me that her bust was being nerfed and it was way bigger in the anime, I'm not sure if I could agree with that. I mentioned this in my Figure News Fix video a couple of days ago with the bunny version of Marin Kitagawa. I believe that she is wearing push-up bras when she is cosplaying the anime, and her actual bust size isn't that big, at least based on what she looks like in her school uniform. So there you go, this is what her proportion actually looks like. And a lot of the resin figures out there, third-party resin figures, they really, made her bust bigger than it actually is. That is what I'm certain of by now. Up next, we have a scale figure of Ken Ryuguchi by Orange Rouge. He is from Tokyo Revengers. So with Orange Rouge, they are like a subsidiary of Good Smile, but they focus on male characters, Bishonen characters, including the Nendoroids. So this is not something that interests me, but that detail on his outfit that is worth noting, yeah. And lastly, for the scale figures by Good Smile in this event, we have a scale figure of Colors Red by Solar Rain. Very interesting. An original character, or is this a game? I'm guessing it is a game. And if it is based on that artwork, man, I love that a lot. I love female characters, anime female characters with weapons. And with a bit of science fiction touch to it, this is totally up my alley in terms of character design. No prototype yet, only an announcement. And then before we move on to another website, we take a look at the pop-up parades being announced. 40 of them, man, that is a lot. Alright. So almost the entire cast of Oshinoko, they are getting a pop-up parade figure. Well, almost, because Akane isn't announced, unfortunately. So we have Ai Hoshino, and then we have Ruby, we have Aqua, and lastly we have Kana Arima getting pop-up parade figures, as well as Nendoroids. Yeah, Nendoroids of these 4 characters were also being announced, but every other character like Akane and the rest of the cast, they did not receive any figure announcement yet. I do believe Akane will get a figure at some point, just that not yet. The very fact that these 4 characters from Oshinoko are getting pop-up parades as well as Nendoroids but not higher end scale figures kind of backs up my theory earlier, where I said that Good Smile could possibly be playing it safe when it comes to characters from seasonal anime. Like, there is money to be made for sure, but they are unwilling to go higher end, 25-30k and above yen for a high end scale figure, because in case the series flops and the figure bargain bins, yeah, they won't lose too much money by having to discount heavily on their figures. In the end, pop-up parades, they don't really get big discounts anyway, so it is a relatively safe bet. let's go back to this page over here. Okay, so once again, we have Danmachi characters getting pop-up parades, and also Jigokuraku, Hell's Paradise, which I have not started watching yet. Alright, so now we get pop-up parade of Hestia. Did you guys know what happened to Hestia like 5 years ago? When season 1 of Danmachi was being released, every single finger company jumped on the hype. Kotobukiya, Amakuni, and Hobby Japan, Good Smile Company, Max Factory, everyone started making a scale figure of Hestia, and guess what happened? She bargain bins like crazy. The Max Factory version went from 11,000 yen all the way down to 5,500 yen because nobody wanted to buy it. The Amakuni version was like 12,000 yen and a limited edition, but it's still bargain bins anyway. And this is the risk with making anime scale figures from characters that are from seasonal anime. If the popularity dies out and nobody cares anymore, then the value goes down with it. So with Danmachi, once again, Good Smile is playing it safe. Season 4 was crazy popular. It was very well done. Now almost every single character are getting a pop-up parade. We have Hestia, we have Yamato Mikoto. This is possibly the only figure of Mikoto ever made so far. No scale figures of her. And then we have, Liliruka Arde. This is also the only scale figure of her, I believe. Up next, we have Ice Wallenstein. Yeah, Ice Wallenstein, there were 1x4 scales of her by Freeing and also Kotobukiya. And then we have, Haruhime, very nice. Haruhime, this is the only figure of her as well, if I'm not mistaken. Pop-up parade. And then, these are the characters that got a pop-up parade from Good Smile. Not every single character. That character which was holding a huge sword, I can't remember her name. I'm bad at remembering names. Yes, her. I'm surprised that she did not get a figure. Maybe she will at some point, but if there is a figure from Danmachi that I would love, that would be her, yeah. And then from Hell's Paradise Jigokuraku, we have a pop-up parade of Gabimaru as well as Asaemon Sagiri. So once again, seasonal anime, Good Smile playing it safe. But anyways, like, there were already scale figures of her by other figure companies. I think it was Full Wheel, right? I covered it in Figure News Fix several weeks ago. As for Jigokuraku and Good Smile, we have pop-up parades as well as Nendoroids being announced. And lastly, we have from Mashly Magic and Muscles, we have a pop-up parade of Mash Bernadette. Yeah, I did not even watch the anime. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but no, based on my initial impressions, I did not like the anime as much. Back to this page. So what do we have over here? Up next, we have a pop-up parade of Red Pyramid thing from Silent Hill. Oh, okay, Silent Hill. Now I can recall. It is really random really for Good Smile to make figures from Silent Hill, but it was a very popular game back then. And then we have Black Rock Shooter Fragment, pop-up parade Alishka. Oh, so her name is Alishka now. My favorite version of Black Rock Shooter until today is still the version 2035. Yes, the game. Once again, science fiction vibes. I love science fiction stuff. This one is very close to the science fiction 2035 version, and I might pick one up if the final product turns out to be decent. Up next, we have, Jan the Arc from FGO and also Jan the Arc Alter pop-up parade. I can't really remember. I thought that Jan the Arc already has a pop-up parade. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyways, to those of you fans of Jan, myself included, here we go, pop-up parades in case you couldn't afford those 30,000, 40,000 yen scale figures by Alter and Licon. Yes, I have the Alter version of her scale figure, Jan the Arc Alter. Up next, from Hololive, we have a pop-up parade of Ninomae Inanis. I kind of like the character design of this one. I don't really collect Hololive more. I have stopped reviewing pop-up parades of Hololive characters. But as for character design alone, strictly character design, I really do like this one. And it reminds me of Yang Guifei quite a bit from FGO as well. Next, we have a pop-up parade of Gyome Himejima from Kime Yaiba. Okay, this character, how do I put it? there are already plenty of price figures out there. You don't necessarily have to pick up a pop-up rate, you know, unless you intend to collect the entire series, then surely. Up next, we have pop-up rate of Aoi Todo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I don't really watch shonen stuff in general. There are always exceptions like Kime Yaiba. I watch it for the animation quality. So this is something I would skip as well. Up next, pop-up rate King from the 7 Deadly Sins, Dragon's Judgment. Nice colors. Next, from the same series, we have a pop-up rate Diane XL size. So this is more like 1x4 scale for 20,000 yen or so. This is not going to be a detailed figure. Like seriously, you look at how plain her outfit is and you just take the very same 3D model and then you size it up to 1x4 scale. Yeah, the end result won't be that pretty. But I suppose that there is enough demand for such figures. Back to this page, what do we have over here? Let's just open every single thing in a new tab, right? Up next, from 7 Deadly Sins as well, we have Escanor L size. So this is about 1x7 scale, 7,800 yen or so, you know. The price, it is very predictable. From Hellsing OVA, alright, this is something new. Pop-up rate Alucard L size. Hellsing is also a classic. This is something very old, but this series have their own hardcore fans. So I can totally see the logic of making a figure from this series. Up next, also from Hellsing OVA, Alexander Anderson L size as well. Classic stuff. And then we have a pop-up rate of mine from Ascendance of Bookworm. There are already excellent scale figures of her. It looks great, the scale figure from what I remember. And this pop-up rate, yes, it is a pop-up rate, I understand, but it looks kind of plain to me. Yeah. The blue color outfit doesn't look that good in this figure somehow. Up next, this is one of my favorite pop-up rates today actually. Megumin Bunny version L size, very nice. So this outfit over here at 1x7 scale, 8,000 yen. I'm actually thinking of picking one up after release. That glossy outfit over there, that glossy skirt and those legs, I'm a Thai enthusiast, you see. Yeah, I'm thinking of picking one up. Up next, from Goblin Slayer, Priestess L size as well. Alright, this Priestess, she also has other scale figures out there, but if you can't afford them, yeah, here we go, a pop-up rate L size, just under 8,000 yen. Up next, pop-up rate Suzume Iwato. Ah, yeah, from that anime. Is it Weathering with You? Anyways, this looks very not Weathering with You, the one where the whole place was flooded. I did not watch the movie yet, you know. I should have watched it way earlier. The one thing that attracts me with this figure, while it is very simple, very pedestrian, the pose is very photogenic, and as a photographer, I am very interested to photograph this figure over here. Next, we have pop-up rate of Hinata Hoshino Hana Shirosaki no wa Himesaka from An Angel, Wata 10, An Angel Flew Down to Me. Was this a seasonal anime? I can't remember that well. Can't really remember. Not really up my alley, but if you love your lollies, then maybe you might want to consider this trio of girls. Up next, from Yuri Is My Job, once again, seasonal anime, pop-up rate Hime Shirasagi. I think it is beginning to become very clear by now where a lot of seasonal anime characters, they end up in the pop-up rate line because it is really a safer bet compared to making an extravagant, expensive scale figure only to watch it bargain bin later. Yeah, a lot of seasonal anime characters making into the pop-up rate line. Very interesting indeed. Good Smile strategy is beginning to be very clear at the moment. From Yuri Is My Job as well, we have Kazuko Ayana Koji. Yeah, I did not watch the anime, but I do intend to pick it up at some point. Up next, pop-up rate Jisei Hattori from the Ancient Magus Bride Season 2. Oh, this one was fairly popular from what I heard. And once again, I have not watched it yet. I really should pick up one. Yeah, I did not even touch the first season, you see. And I should really give it a try. Once again, seasonal anime. Same thing applies to Elias Ainworth L size. Oh, this is an L size. Okay. Up next, we have a pop-up rate of Mecha Alban from Soul Eater. Soul Eater, the anime aired quite a long while ago, right? I do have a copy in my hard disk, but I never really bothered to watch it. Seasonal anime, if you paid attention. And then we have pop-up rate Kirito from SAO. Kirito. There are so many figures of him that I have lost count. Scale figures, price figures. And then we have pop-up rate Mito from SAO Movie Progressive. Okay, this is a good one. Like, while the pose is very simple, I really do like how this figure is being presented. This figure kind of has my attention. I'll have to see what the final product is like. Pop-up rate Shizuka Kuze and Takopi from Takopi's original scene. That octopus. Okay. I remember that octopus being revealed as Nandroids in the previous event. I think it was Megahobby Expo. So this is what it is about. There is actually a master for that octopus. Alright. And then we have pop-up rate Mia from Gurren Lagann. Okay. Gurren Lagann, also classic, very old series. Nostalgia. Pop-up rate Shinya Kogami, Akane Tsunemori, and Shogo Makishima from Psycho Pass. This is something I can recommend, you see. Psycho Pass, I think it was a bit too underrated. The anime was amazing, especially the first 2 seasons. I loved the movie as well, where it appears to be in Cambodia. Yeah, the plot, the location, the setting they used, it looks like Cambodia to me. And I liked how realistic it is. It feels real to me. Like I can relate to what I watched in the movie somehow. You know, dictatorship and all these politics stuff, it felt real to me. So these trio of characters are getting pop-up rates, very nice. And then finally we have pop-up rate Tsunayoshi Sawada and Kyoya Hibari from Reborn. This is also classic. A lot of classic anime, they are being revived, somehow getting a pop-up rate figure, very interesting indeed. So now we are done with Wonhobby Gallery. Let's jump into my Facebook page and we'll take a look at some scale figures from other companies. So here we go, X Kogani Studio. If you have a Facebook account, please do give this page a like and follow this page. Alright, so we take a look at figures by Miyuki, Fat Company, Solarin, Wing Incorporated, and Orange Rouge. This character over here from Higurashi When They Cry, I don't remember her name anymore. You see, this figure right here is why this company Miyuki has my attention so much. I am interested in their, that Monogatari figure. What was her name? Yeah, Oshino Shinobu figure holding a long katana. I was interested in that figure. So I'm paying attention to their other figures they have been releasing. And they look great. This is a company where I might be able to easily recommend to you guys collecting anime figures. This prototype over here, I like it a lot as well. The next figure over here, this is by Fat Company, and apparently this is a pop-up rate. At least that is what Dengeki Hobby said in their news coverage. I'm not so sure if this is actually a pop-up rate because you're getting that bear over there, the bunny bear over there. Yeah, I don't think this is a pop-up rate. I could be wrong though. Up next is a figure of Megumi Kato. This one is by Solarin. I find it weird that one Solarin figure was in that Wonhobby website earlier, while this one wasn't in there, right? Just another Megumi Kato figure. Just pick your poison, you know, which one do you prefer? And yeah, this is that Solarin figure earlier from Idolmaster, so we'll be skipping past this one. And finally, from Wing Incorporated, Wing Company, we have Insane Black Rock Shooter. This is exciting, you see. Good Smile Company, they released a scale figure of Insane Black Rock Shooter many years ago. That one is pretty rare nowadays, pretty expensive, and the box is massive. I used to own that figure, but I sold it, you see. So will I pick up this one as a replacement? Honestly, I don't see that happening. I still prefer the original Black Rock Shooter, and as I mentioned earlier, the 2035 version, the Insane version doesn't really tickle my fancy as much. The Good Smile version was really cheap back then, you know, like $130 for one of the very best figure of the year back then. Yeah, this one won't be cheap. I'm expecting 40,000 yen, unfortunately. And then now we scroll on to the next figure company, Good Smile Arts Shanghai, Intelligent Systems and Max Factory. This character right here, if I'm not mistaken, this is from Girls Front Line, I think. I don't remember the model number, like what rifle, you know. I'm not a weapon nerd. This one is made by Good Smile Arts Shanghai. And unlike the actual Good Smile company in Japan, Good Smile Arts Shanghai, their quality control is kind of, inconsistent. But anyways, it is too early to tell. This is still in prototype unpainted stage. Yeah, those candles over there. Yeah, I'm seeing a rifle in that box. This is definitely from Girls Front Line, man. And then up next, this figure of Noble Corinne from Intelligent Systems. I already covered her in Figure News Fix a couple of days ago. She is already on pre-order. If you like Fire Emblem, pre-order this one. And then this one is by Max Factory. It is a VTuber character, if I am not mistaken. I don't know her name. More like I can't remember anymore. So this figure was revealed in the previous figure event last year, Megahobby Expo, I think. Until today, no updates yet. It is still an unpainted prototype. And then we have Max Factory Hatsune Miku tampon holder version. Yeah, this one was also revealed in the previous event last year. No updates yet as well. I know that she is holding what is supposed to be a missile of some kind, but to me it looks like a tampon holder, seriously. Alright, that is it. And then we go down to Kadokawa and KD Call. Kadokawa and KD Call, they have a new figure of Tokisaki Kurumi from Dead Alive, and this one looks fantastic. I like the pose over there, very relaxed, very chill. The face looks great as well. This could be a great addition to any of you Kugumi fans out there. But seriously, there are way too many figures of Kugumi. Other characters, they need their love also. This one is from, Spy... What's the name of the anime again? Yeah, it was stuck at 12 or 13 episodes. We're still waiting for the second coup to begin. I actually liked the anime quite a bit. As for the name, don't expect me to remember the name of every anime character. This one, the face looks great. And then, alright, we have Kuma Bear, also by KD Call. Oh, and she seems to be launching a fireball of some kind. I don't really like the face over here. And is she getting a fabric outfit? Very interesting. But in the end, you know what? I like the face on the pop-up rate a lot more. This one, I think it could use some work. The face could be better, really. I would rather buy a pop-up parade L version of this character if KD Call messes up the face over here. This character, Maple, she is already on pre-order, by the way. I covered it in Figure News Fix as well. And my stance remains, I'm not a fan of all these transparent effect parts being attached to a figure. It looks very unnatural to me. Yeah, and that is all on Kadokawa. We move down to Freeing. A lot of 1x4 skills by Freeing. This is exciting. We have Shui from No Game No Life at 1x4 skill. And with all those mechanical parts, man, if there is a 1x4 skill that I would love to have, this would be it. I don't always buy 1x4 skills, very rare. Up next, we have Nezuko and Mitsuri Kanroji by Freeing. This is definitely a 1x4 skill. They are really going all out with this Demon Slayer stuff, man. Too many figures to count. This Nezuko is not going to be cheap. You look at the effect part around her, those flame effect part. Do you know what happened to Rengoku, right? 300,000 yen just to add a flame base. This Nezuko over here, it might be 6 digits in price in Japanese yen. Yeah, I do expect that to happen. Of course, there is going to be a light version with a simpler base and a lower cost, I think. And then we have two side characters from To Love Ru. I don't remember their names. And these two characters, yes, they really do need more love, right? Finally, they are getting 1x4 skills. This is like a male version of Konjiki no Yami. 1x4 skill, and this is their nurse, the school nurse or their school teacher in the infirmary. She is also getting a 1x4 skill. And up next, we have Marin Kitagawa, 1x4 skill. She is already on pre-order. I've already discussed about her in detail in my Figure News Fix. Yeah, I don't have a problem with her face, unlike some of you. I think it looks fine over here. And then this one, Uzaki's mom, she is also already on pre-order. She is rather cheap. I think it was 32,000 yen also, because her legs are kind of short, you know. And then this character, very familiar. I don't remember her name as well. This one is getting a 1/4 scale. This is a classic anime, if I'm not mistaken. I like how natural the pose is over here, see? Including the glance over there, the face expression. Very natural looking. And then this character, this is from Toradora. The other character, the red color one, yeah, she is already on pre-order this week. So we can expect this one to go on pre-order next week, which is this coming week. Yeah, this week. And then this character, I have no idea who this is, but this is a very interesting 1/4 scale. Not something you'll see very often. I kind of like this one, but I don't know who this is really. And yeah, this one, but from Toradora, she is also already on pre-order. Check out AmiAmi or other Japanese websites. And then we have a 1/4 scale Raftalia childhood version from Tate no Yusha, Rising of Shield Hero. And is that a night dress of some kind, the one you wear to bed to seduce your boyfriend or your husband? Man, this is lolicon bait material, but I do like it. Very nice, very nice. And then lastly, to those of you who like Hololive stuff, this is a must-have, right? I don't think this one is on pre-order yet. Yeah, quite soon. And lastly, this character, I have no idea who she is either. Gothic feel going on over there, but this is not something I would like to have in my collection. Not my type of character, you see. And that is all for freeing 1/4 skills. We move down to Claynel. Claynel has relations with Revolve and Kadokawa, if I'm not mistaken, and all of the figures over here, they were already revealed in the previous event last year, Megahobby Expo, so nothing new over here. We have this pair of Ilya and Kuro figures, which are absolutely adorable. I would love to have them, like not a priority, but I would love to have them nonetheless. Especially Kuro. This is really nice. And then we have a FGO character over here. Yeah, this is from FGO, and she was also already announced last year, but only with an official artwork, no prototype yet. Now we are getting a prototype of her. That is all for Claynel, and then we move on to... Alright, this is Bass Mode action figures. I guess I'll skip past it. I don't want this video to be too long. From Aniplex, only 2 figures by the way. Yeah, we have this one, looks really nice. And then... yeah, this guy from Mashley, this is an action figure 1/12 scale. I think he is already on pre-order. You know, I was expecting Aniplex to announce more stuff, given how much FGO stuff they have in their work in progress plans. They have a lot of prototypes. But at the same time, to see nothing from FGO coming from Aniplex, I think I had quite a bit of a relief over there. My wallet survives a bit longer. Alright, this is Wing Company, IBRS, I'm skipping past. And then we have Nandoroids, Figma, and finally Good Smile Company, Pop-Operate, and Scale Figures. So that is about it for Wonhobby Gallery Spring 2023. Which figure from this event will you be hitting that pre-order button on day 1? Please do let me know down in the comments below. For me, it feels like there are not too many poison this time around. Fortunately, because I still have stuff in my backlog I need to purchase. For me, my top number 1 figure from this event has to be that Tsukihime figure over there. Yeah, the one with a large blade. That is my number 1 figure. And then followed by those Nikkei characters. Yeah, I am very excited for those 2 figures as well. But overall, there are nothing that tempts me too much this time around. Thank God. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please do consider giving this video a like and subscribing to this channel for more anime figure content. Until then, thank you very much for watching once again, and goodbye.